Warm greetings from the High 10. It is Everyday Shenanigans on this Wednesday, February 26, 2020. I'd like to discuss the current case pertaining to Evelyn Mae Boswell, 15-month-old baby girl missing out of Sullivan County, Tennessee. A lot has developed in the past week since the Amber Alert was issued. Her mother, Megan Boswell, 18 years of age, is currently incarcerated. She was taken to jail last night for filing a false missing report. Her mother bond was revoked, so she is currently in jail, and the boyfriend of Angela Boswell is returning to Tennessee. When I bring that said information, when he arrives back, what he has to say, I'll bring you that said information. Also, the boyfriend gave a news interview, Hunter Wood, on and off boyfriend, whatever. Don't know what his stake is and what his relationship is to Miss Megan Boswell at the current moment. There's also the grandfather, Mr. Jones, who just gave information to the news outlet that he believes Megan Boswell is behind the disappearance of her child, Evelyn Boswell. And he also said that she, his daughter Angela, and Hunter were hanging around each other a couple of weeks ago. No mention of the child in this said interview, but that Hunter gave the car to his daughter as a gift, and that was his said knowledge pertaining to the car. So as you see, the car has been deemed stolen by Melissa Wood, and one could assume this is a relative or his mother. This article that I read from the Bristol Herald Courier did not specify Miss Melissa Wood as his mother, but perhaps she is. But the point remains, why now we're hearing that these three were hanging around each other the 1st of February, minus the child, and a car was a gift, but it didn't get reported stolen until days after the Amber Alert was issued, which I find very suspect and suspicious. Why wasn't a title and registration and money exchange day one when Megan got access to the car? So we now know, if we are to believe Mr. Jones, that all three participants knew about the car. Now, did this Melissa Wood know of the car situation? I don't know. Is Mr. Hunter Wood using his mother, said relative, to have filed the police report that's a stolen car? It'd look better if my mother or somebody else did it instead of me. Because deep down inside, I know about the car situation, because I gave this car allegedly to perhaps Megan to drive. And perhaps Megan gave it to her mother. You see, we don't really know what the 411 is pertaining to the car. We don't know what to believe, even with this new information from Mr. Jones. How did it go? Allegedly, Megan's car was repoed. So, Hunter said, I'll be the good guy. I'll be the good Samaritan. Here, I'll let you use my car. And then somewhere down the road, Mommy needs a car to drive. Mommy needs a way to get around. Hey, let me borrow your car. I got to go over here. I got to go over here on 15th Street. But instead, 15th Street led to Wilkesboro, North Carolina. I don't know what to say. I don't really know what to believe at this point. But what I wanted to discuss with you all is this. Perhaps we're looking at a Susan Smith storyline once again. You all remember that story out of South Carolina many moons ago? I believe that was 1994, if I'm not mistaken. A young mother, two small boys, fell head over heels for a guy. I believe she worked with him. And he let her know, great catch, but I don't want to date a girl, a lady that has children. And I'm thinking to myself, now listening to this information, that the grandfather has brought forth, Angela Boswell's father, that perhaps him saying that he saw Evelyn the week before Thanksgiving, others are claiming to have seen the baby December 10th, 11th, and the 26th. Hunter says he met Megan at his chicken shack. She was looking for a job. Then we have this mess about her car being up for sale. repo, yah. The car note wasn't that much. Rumor on Facebook. As I state, you don't know what to believe. Do I have to say it for you guys? Perhaps Megan Boswell murdered her child, got rid of her child, whichever way you want to phrase it, because she fell head over heels for Hunter Wood. Because you see, her baby was in the way. Her baby was in the way of her spending time with Mr. Hunter Wood. You see, it's hard sometimes to, one, take care of a child on your own, not have adequate help, making ends meet, barely living, and now you meet somebody and they are unobligated. That man doesn't have any children. He's single, fancy free, owns a chicken shack. You see where I'm going? And this child was too much to deal with at the time. And she wanted this man. She wanted this guy. But she wanted to be with him uninterrupted. And who's to say? What he knew and did not know. Because now, once again, you have to ask yourself, when did this baby go missing out of the custody hands of Megan Boswell? Did she walk into that chicken shack in hopes of getting a job? And then when she went in, did she get hired? We never heard any more about that. What actually did she tell Hunter Wood about her baby? He states that she told me the baby was down in Louisiana with the father, who was on leave at the time for Christmas break. But did she walk in there, meet him, meet and greet, bat her lash? They started talking, swap numbers, and she never mentioned that she had the baby at all? Or did at some point she say, oh, by the way, he's coming to get her. I'm sending her down there. See, we will never know, because I don't think we'll get the truth from these heathens either. And it's not to throw shade at Hunter Wood, but you do have to think. When you're dealing with a missing child and you're dealing with a pathological liar for them as the mother, I don't know anything about this guy to say if he's telling the truth of what was told to him by Megan Boswell. Who's to say she didn't get rid of the baby before she met him? But I'm wondering if, indeed, Megan Boswell didn't let on she had a kid. She started talking to this guy, and she got rid of her baby so she could be with him full time and have his undivided attention. He has hers. We will never know. Because in these cases, if they start out lying, they rarely tell the truth down the road, even when there's substantial evidence to prove they have been complicit in the disappearance, the murder of their child. So is this what's the 411? She wanted to be free, so she got rid of her child, murdered her child. Or she met Hunter Wood and decided to get rid of Evelyn Mae Boswell. Which is it? I'm wondering. And I'm only wondering that now because of the statement from the grandfather, Mr. Jones, saying they were all hanging around each other for about 2 weeks while Angela was staying here at my home. She was here daily, but yet you don't hear mention of the baby. So, Mr. Jones, you didn't inquire where the baby was while she was there visiting your daughter alongside her new boyfriend? And another thing that I just thought about, if indeed what Mr. Jones is saying is the truth, that Angela Boswell, Megan Boswell, and Hunter Wood were hanging around each other the 1st of February, day for day, at his home, there was no conversation of Evelyn Mae in that conversation. All of you all sitting around laughing and kee-hee-heeing and drinking soda pop with one another. Come on with it. The conversation of the baby never came up. Because you always have to remember about a liar. The lie they tell Hunter won't be the lie they tell the grandfather and his wife, or the mother, or whomever. I always remember that. So while they're all sitting around kee-hee-heeing with one another, did the subject ever come up about where Evelyn was? Do you understand what I'm saying? Because the grandfather never alludes that he saw the child when he gives this interview of them hanging around each other. So did she already tell the grandfather, oh, she's in Louisiana with the daddy? Did she tell her mother the same thing? Do you understand what I'm saying? Did she tell her family members, the ones that she do speak to, that Evelyn was in Louisiana? That's why I'm curious to why there's been no mention of Ethan Perry's family speaking up, friends, family, somebody. I'm curious to what he has to say about this said information, about was the baby with him in Louisiana during the holidays? Because you see, if he comes forward, Mr. Perry, and tells us that the baby wasn't here, I've been over here, over there, across the country, wherever, then Miss Megan Boswell, you surely have a problem. Because then that lie, you're going to have to figure out how to worm your way out of that one. But right now, you in the baby version, of the big house. So I guess you got other things to be worried about. What do you think? Do you even think the baby's alive at this point? Because the baby hasn't surfaced. Not one tip has led to the child. Very interesting. And I think it was interesting in this last article that I brought you that they said they had got a tip that the baby was at the campground. And I thought, yeah, bet that was an anonymous tip too, huh? Somebody just called from a phone, unknown number. She put somebody up to call and say, yes, tell them the baby's at the campground. But yet they go there. No sight of the baby. And I'm curious if the sheriff, the marshals, whomever, even talked to people at the campground. Were there even people there? Is this another Casey Anthony, Susan Smith scenario going on in Sullivan County? I wonder. And I think it would be sad that she just didn't find the baby a decent home, because that's all she had to do. She realized she didn't have family to help her with her child. Couldn't make it on her own. There's no judgment there for me, because many people have been raised by other people, especially here in the South. Most people have not been raised by their parents, and I think we all know that. But the point is, you will not give vital information to where the child is, because all roads have led downhill to nowhere pertaining to the whereabouts of this baby. And I think she knows where the baby is. There's no doubt in my mind she knows where the baby is. But the sad part and the horrific part is that I believe that the child is not living. If she is alive, it will be a wonderful and vainglorious day to see her actually smiling, walking, talking, breathing. But because the information she has given to the authorities have led nowhere, it leads me to think the child is not alive. And I think Megan Boswell got rid of her child to be free of all obligations and to perhaps pursue this man and be with him baby free. But then there's the rumor that she's pregnant, and she has notified the news outlet through Facebook that she is with child and she couldn't take a polygraph test. But yet the sheriff's department says we don't even use polygraphs. So once again, another lie. And that leads you to think there is no baby. Because why would you even mention a polygraph, and the sheriff's department don't even use them, because you're probably watching Facebook and the stories, and you're hearing the comments and seeing the comments, and you're hearing people say, they should give her a polygraph, they should give her a polygraph. And then she comes back with, oh, well, they can't because I'm pregnant. But are you really pregnant, Megan Boswell? Who are you? I've been looking at her pictures while I'm getting my information from the said articles. And I looked at the last photo of her before I jumped on here, and I said to myself, are you a killer? Am I looking into the face and the eyes of a baby killer? And the fact that she smirks a lot in her interviews and the photographs I've seen of her in the past week are bothersome to me and creepy at best. I think Megan Boswell got rid of her child. I think she murdered her child. I know these are heavy words to say, but I think she did something to her child. If I'm wrong, I'll gladly retract every statement that I am giving to you today. But I have a bad feeling about this child. I do not think she's alive. I think she has been stonewalling the police, the authorities, the FBI, TBI. She's been taking advantage of the fact that she now has gotten notoriety in this country for a missing child. She has basked in this attention. And we know how baby mamas can do once their name is out there on social media and people are talking about them. Whether it's good or bad, some of them like the attention. Because in the same breath, we had one that would complain about people talking about them on social media, YouTube, but yet keep talking and running their mouth as if they like the attention. Because if you didn't like attention, you wouldn't be on social media talking in the first place. And I had a feeling that that was the road Megan Boswell was going to go down. She was going to start talking to people on Facebook, bickering with them back and forth, like that mess down there in Alabama. And as you see, it doesn't really matter what part of the world you're in. You see similar behavior with different mothers. How ironic. You don't know people. You don't know people. And right now, it's not looking good for Angela Boswell, William McLeod, Megan Boswell, nor Hunter Wood. Because there is something stinky, rotten with this new story emerging about all three having knowledge of the car, and then the car only reported stolen after an Amber Alert has been issued. So you put that on paper. Do these people know what happened to Evelyn Boswell? And will the truth ever be revealed? Will Megan Boswell tell what she did to her child? How long her child has been gone from her custody? And did she kill her baby to be with Hunter Wood? Or did she just kill her baby to be free? Like, share, and subscribe. Drop your comments below. And thanks for joining me. And this is Everyday Shenanigans. I'm out of here. Bye-bye.